would be two
Sorry.
bottles.
Huh.
That would be those two big bottles of pop would be
Yeah,
my
that's what I think of when I think of liters, is big old pop bottles.
yeah. But yeah, for gallon, I don't know. I'm just like, here, you've got me on that one.
Well, shoot. Okay, everyone looks like they're here. Um, and it's good to see you guys. I was just telling Carrie I got back from Juneau last night. Um, so I'm still waking up over here, but I got to go help the language teachers in the TCLL program. If you're not familiar with that program, it's an optional program in the Juneau School District for Tlingit language or Tlingit culture, language, and literacy. So it's a dual language program for Tlingit and English. And they're working on language proficiency assessments, which is super exciting and super fun. It helps us as teachers know what we want to teach and how. And honestly, I've been kind of testing it out on you guys a little bit with the posters that we use and asking questions back and forth, because that's pretty much the format that they give the assessments, which is fun. So you guys are part of that bigger piece. But here we are. It's week 8, November 12th. I put the slides in the chat for folks who want to practice. And let's see, is CA here today? I don't see her yet. But on our menu for today, we're going to continue our song study of Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star in Tlingit. We'll focus on line 2 today. Like I said, just doing one line at a time. And then if CA comes in, she agreed to have a discussion on a topic that she's mentioned a couple times in this class about people of the stars. So that will be exciting. If it doesn't happen today, we'll continue on with our dialogue practice about digging clams.
Those damn clams.
So the song, I'm going to play it for you again. And it's written here. I took this picture out of the Beginning Tlingit, the book called Beginning Tlingit. This was written by the Dowenhauers. And this is a recording of Keochne, Nora Marks Dowenhauer, singing the song. So please read along and just enjoy.
Kadli it ji kot khayanaha dasakshi ach isiti Tlingit ane kachnale nuk erchat tuch iwlichat Kadli it ji kot khayanaha dasakshi ach isiti.
Isn't that fun? Any questions or comments right off the bat? So last week we practiced this top line, and this week we'll focus on line 2. So for pronunciation practice, let's review the first line, and this is one of our vocab words, star. Please repeat after me. Kotrayanaha. Good. So let's start with the A here in Ayana. Repeat after me. Ayanaha.
Ayanaha.
Good. And then the first part is repeat after me. Kotr.
Kot.
Yeah, good. So you have 2 letters that are underlined here. So they're going to happen in kind of the snoring zone, back of your mouth, back of your throat. And repeat after me. Kotr. Good. Sounding good. So the whole word. Kotr ayanaha.
Ayanaha.
Good. And the first word means twinkling. So it's describing the star as twinkling or sparkling. And let's start with the second half of this green word. Repeat after me. Itchy.
Itchy.
Yeah. So we have an apostrophe here that lets us know to pinch it. Make that T sound nice and sharp. Repeat after me. Itchy.
Itchy.
Good. And the whole word, repeat after me. Cuddly itchy.
Ugly. Itchy.
Good. So let's speak the line and then we'll practice singing it. Speaking, repeat after me. Cuddly itchy. Kutrayanaha.
Ugly. Itchy. Kutrayanaha.
Good job. And now let's sing it. Repeat after me. Cuddly itchy. Kutrayanaha.
Ugly. Itchy. Kutrayanaha.
Oops.
Good. Okay, let's practice this one for pronunciation. First, just the green part at the end. Repeat after me. Ach, ECT.
ECT.
Yeah. And let's practice the first two sounds. Repeat after me. Dasa.
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 And add the purple part. Sorry, I just burped into the mic. Add the Why do I do that? Repeat after me the first three words. Da sakushe.
Da.
Dasakushi.
And then ach ECT.
ECT.
Good. And the whole line for pronunciation, repeat after me. Da sakushe ach ECT.
Dasakushi. ECT.
Good. Just for fun, do any of you have guesses for any of these parts?
Let me.
I heard you. You were quiet, but you're good. What? So, repeat after me. Oops. Repeat after me, everybody. Dasa.
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 Yeah. So this is a what question? What else do you? Any guesses? Mm-hmm.
Where? No. What? Oh.
It's like, what are you?
Yeah. Good. Good to see you, CA. I have you on the agenda for today if you're still interested.
Oh,
Yeah. So we're gonna put a general guess as what are you? And then let's take a closer look at each word. So one more time for pronunciation. Repeat after me. Da sakshi ECT.
Dasakushi. ECT.
Good. So here's a couple examples I took from some of my favorite resources where we see this word sitee because we have it in our line sitee. And let's take a glance at a few things. So for pronunciation practice, repeat after me this top line. King reiste ach saich sitee.
King guess.
Good. And
That's
sitee.
not in the song though.
No, these are examples. I'm gonna mute you, Shakun, until your microphone gets or your camera because it's clicking when you move it, just until you get it situated. Yeah. So sitee, these are examples from other books that have the word sitee. So we have this line, Da sakshi ECT. It has this word sitee. So I'm taking you to examples of what this means so that we can start to get a picture of what it means
It
in
kind of
Iceland.
reminds me of like wasa ENT, like
Yeah.
that tea.
Nice. So let's do some notes in our kind of, since we're brainstorming together, let's take a couple notes here of what you guys are mentioning. So CA said it kind of reminds me of Wasa EIT, which means what in English?
How are you?
What are you called?
Close.
Or
Yeah.
how
How
are
are
you?
you?
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
And
So,
that's easy.
oh, wasa do a soft. What are you called? Okay, the what question?
yeah. So the Wasa Ituwasak
Oh,
is how are you called, meaning what is your name? So these are how questions with the Wasa.
wasa.
Yeah. By comparison, Dasa is a what question?
Dasa.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
What do you see?
So we have, how do you say what do you see in Tlingit?
Dasa yeti. Oh, what do you
Okay.
say in English?
No, that's good. Dasa iatin. So that means what do you see? Okay.
This yeti.
Yeah. So I kind of want to point a couple things out based off what you guys are mentioning because the things you're noticing are little clues to where we're going. So, um, first, CA said this phrase, "Dasokshiyech ECT," kind of reminded her of this question, "Wasa iati." And an important thing here is that we have the same verb root T. So ECT, we have TEE, and then EIT, TEE. That's the same core meaning. Um, so that's really good. I'm going to put this in green. Another thing I want to point out that you guys are noticing or that it's coming to mind for you is this ia, idua, ia. These are all similar to ect and that it starts with this I prefix. Okay, so we're putting this I in front of the core word. And what does this I mean in English? I.
Hey.
Yeah.
You.
Yeah, good.
I
Okay. So we have some intermediate folks in here and they're noticing that when we have this I at the front of our action word, which we've not yet identified what it is yet, but we're designated as you. So this iyati is how are you. Wasa iduwasak. This has this I, and we're talking about you. So we're talking to somebody. Same
But
thing.
is there not one where it would be instead of saying how are you called, they go is there something that says what is your name?
Uh-huh. Yeah, we'll get to that in a minute, but I want people to focus on this pattern that we're kind of internalizing for now, and then I'll answer your question about that. Yeah. So good job. So you guys are noticing all these questions that are coming up as you guess. What does this mean? ECT. So, um, what are you? This is kind of, you guys have figured this out that this I in ECT, we're talking about you. So it means something you. And we're going to change the order. Okay. Okay, and then we have this T, TEE. Any guesses of what this means in T? What kind of action is this or state of being? You're doing really good, by the way. Okay, so we've gotten pretty far. You can keep thinking on it. Speak up if something comes to mind. Um, but here, Carrie, is what you were mentioning. How can you say what my name is? So, Kingreisti Achsaich Sitee. So we have this Sitee. Kingreisti is my name. And then he also says, Shanguke Dinach Chet Sitee. I am Shanguke Di. So we're seeing this a couple times. Those are just examples. And here's the literal translation from the Tlingit verb database online that's by Carrie Eggleston. So here's our translation. If you put a noun and then underline X and sitee, it means she or he is a noun. So that would be, for an example, Shanguke di Nachetsiti. I am of the Shangukedi nation. So the Shangukedi Na would be Shangukedi clan, actually. And I belong to it. I'm a person of that. So let's take a couple more, look at a couple more examples. If I say, you are Kagwantan, I would say, Kagwantan nach ECT. And this is pretty similar to our line in our song. We have this underline X and then ECT, you are.
I'm a little confused.
Uh-huh. Anybody else confused? Don't be shy. This is good to speak up. Or any questions or comments coming to surface so far?
I don't know if it's confusion, but I do know that it's a sorting issue for me because with language comes worldview, right? So like framing our identity, like in English, we would say like, I mean, I think a lot of us say that we're Tlingit, but I've heard people say that they are of, or you know what I'm saying, like adding these extra frameworks to describe who they are rather than being the noun. And I
Uh-huh.
think that what I'm seeing here is like we are the noun. I don't know if
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Yeah, that's right. That's correct. She or he is a noun. Yeah, so that would be the noun and then underline X. Yeah, Mary, you
But
have a
there's two underlined in the like in the previous page, wasn't there? Or
which
where?
one? This one?
No, it was a different one.
Okay.
And I was gonna say there can't be two nouns together.
Um, we'll get back to that. But Mary, you had your hand raised?
Let's just, I pulled up the dictionary, and one way he shows that root T
Mm-hmm.
is like the way it's used in Gorkana City peace ceremony. His notes show it as being like the root verb of to be in relation, like in the relational sense. That that's when I saw it like that, it made more sense to me, but I
Uh-huh.
thought maybe that would help.
Like,
I'm just trying to search my notes right now because I recall somebody telling me that it meant like the namesake of, like it's your namesake. But I'm just trying to make sure that it's correct because I can't triple check.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk about what Mary said first and then get to you, Shakun. So this entry in the dictionary by René has this core word T, the verb root T. And basically when we put it as like noun, underline X, sitee, we're saying he or she is a noun. So that could be I'm a teacher, I'm Shangu KD, Um, let's see, what else would I use that for? Something, yeah, something that you are.
I
Are
just go ahead. I just added that word since my pronunciation was not strong. I put it in the chat, from the dictionary entry I'd been looking at. But
Mm-hmm.
we'll see if that helps look at it too.
Awesome, thank you. So yeah, we have a few entries in the chat here. I'm gonna kind of catch us up on them. First question or comment is how do we know when to tell the difference with the L's, like when to make an English L sound and a Tlingit silent L sound? Okay, so let's get to
I
this
thought
one.
that was I.
So with pronunciation, let me find where we've had an L in. Okay, so here's an example of an L in Tlingit. And the default L in Tlingit is unvoiced. So you're just letting the air blow out at the sides of your tongue. And basically the way you can think of this, as my elder mentor Shirley Kendall taught me, is if it's coming after like a D or a T and then there's a vowel after it, your voice is automatically gonna turn it into like an English sounding L, just because you're activating your voice box for the I sound. So for example, cuddly, it sounds like an English L, cuddly.
Okay.
Yeah. But you don't need to overthink it because your voice is already going to activate that voice in the L sound. So in this example, dle turns the Tlingit L into a voiced L. If it's on its own, like in Tlingit, just your mouth will let it be an unvoiced L. Does that answer your question?
So when you spell Tlingit,
Uh-huh.
it's spelled Tlingit. But here it's spelled Lingit.
Uh-huh.
But when you say it, it sounds like Tlingit.
Yeah.
So that part I don't understand why, like, there's no T in there when you can hear it when it's being pronounced. Is that just sort of like an invisible T?
The T is something that happened when colonial settlers were trying to write our languages. They heard the sound and they were trying to pick which English letters of the alphabet to make that sound. They're just sort of making it up. And so they ended up with TL. And when I'm talking about, for example, the Tlingit language, if I'm speaking English or writing English, I use Tlingit. If I'm speaking Tlingit, then I pronounce it and say it with an L. And people have different opinions on that, but as teachers, that's a common convention we've agreed on.
Because when you say it in the Tlingit language, it still sounds like a T.
Uh-huh.
That's what's confusing me,
Huh.
or something I don't understand. So if there's ever like a TL, it's just the L you're saying in a word.
Tlingit. Huh. Yeah, I tend to make a K sound here when I'm speaking English and I say Tlingit.
Yeah. So yeah,
I get myself so confused when I think about it.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean
That's
to
okay. That's okay. Okay, I want to kind of keep us back on our track here, but these are good questions. Mary Donna Hines, thank you. Added root T to B. So let's take a look at and thank you guys for doing this with me. I know we're breaking down the language, talking about it different ways. I just want to start getting your minds thinking about what each part means. That doesn't mean I expect this lesson to make complete sense to everybody. It's just a practice we're going to start incorporating every once in a while.
Huh?
Okay, something I want to talk about with this word T to be.
One care think.
Yeah. So there's different ways for T to be used in a word in Tlingit. So T is the verb root, essentially meaning to be. We can add different sounds in front of it to give a more specific meaning. So for something to be a certain way, ye yati, I am that way. But if we add the s in sitee, we're talking more about being the thing that we're talking about, the noun. So if you use the s, you got to add the underline x to the noun. That's just a pattern I want you to memorize, and we'll continue looking at it with the song. But she is a noun. So kagwantan nach sitee. You're talking about he or she is this thing, sitee. Yeah, maybe time to kind of bring it back in.
Okay, Anna.
Uh-huh.
I've also heard sitee, but you're saying, so sitee would be like I am,
Yeah.
but the underlying X is they are, but
Okay.
they singular
Yes.
or they plural?
Singular. So this is a good question. I'm glad this comparison is coming up for you. So let's talk about this so everyone can see what you're talking about. I'm gonna make these a little. Okay, so
I like that word, that phrase.
okay.
Sitee.
So if we do for an example, kagwantan.
Oh my gosh.
I wanna type up these differences. I am kagwantan. And then if we have,
But you can also say I hut, right? Or would you say sitee? Like, do you
those are,
switch it up?
yep, those are interchangeable. So if we have kagwantan ayachet, that also means I am kagwantan. So we can have two different ways of saying the same exact thing in English. I am kagwantan. And let's practice these so that folks can learn the different ways of saying I am kagwantan. These are just examples. First one, let's repeat after me just these last two words. Chet sitee.
sitee.
Good. And then repeat after me. Nach chet sitee.
Sitee.
Good. And then repeat the whole line. Repeat after me. Kagwantan nach chet sitee. Good. And then an alternative, if you're talking about yourself a lot, for example, if you're giving your formal self-introduction to a crowd and you want to change up the way that you're saying what you are and who you are, this is another way you can say it. So repeat after me these last two words. Ayachet. Good. And then the whole line. Kagwantan ayachet. Good job. So now let's talk about these other examples that CA brought up.
Just a question of what the "si" is doing in sitee. What is that part of the word doing?
Okay. All I can tell you at where I'm at in my learning is that the s is you use it to talk about what you are or what someone is, but that you need to add this underline X to the thing that you are or that the person is. That's actually all I can tell you is like how to use it. In general, when you add
That was nouns. That was the question because it's two X's underlined, and you said those were nouns. So can you have two nouns together like that?
okay, one sec. So to be or become, so if we add this s sound before T, it gives us a more specific meaning compared to yeti. So, yeti, like wasa I yeti, for you to be that way, that could be like you're happy, you're hungry, you're sad, it could be your feelings. It could be anything like that. If you're saying sitee, it's like you are that thing. You're a teacher. You're kagwantan. You're shangukedi.
So,
Uh,
okay. So if you're, okay, so in Tlingit, in the worldview, like, I am hungry, is hungry a noun or is hungry
That's a
a
verb.
verb? Well, sometimes, because in Spanish, you would say, I have hunger, right? So it's no longer a verb. The have is the verb, and the hunger is the noun. And the I is an identification. So what we're doing is conjugating. But so with the worldview, like these things can shift. It's not always that this is a verb and this is a noun. It depends on
Mm.
yeah.
what you're seeing. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. This is a good question. I'm gonna open another can of worms for you.
Oh gosh.
When I said that wasa iati, the answer can be I'm hungry. Wasa iati akitian uaha. Those would be an appropriate expression. When you're actually saying I'm hungry in Tlingit, you say akitian uaha. And so I don't even know how to literally translate this verb, but I can look into it and plan a future lesson for this specifically because it's kind of different from what we're talking about. But okay, worldview, I am hungry. This will be a fun one to break down. I'll ask Ida for help. But let's see. And actually a lot of the responses for wasa iati don't have t in it. So how are
I
you?
love that one. I love that phrase.
Nice.
It's so easy to roll off the tongue.
Oh, yeah.
I'll be telling you that to my sisters when I visit them. Every
Uh-huh.
time I see them, I go, so wasaiati, and they'll all be going, what?
Yeah.
And you can also say wasawe, and that's the same thing, correct?
Wasaway.
Wasawe is kind of like what's up. So let's do
Okay.
yeah, let's do
I'll say that to the nephews and my niece. What's
wasawa.
up?
Yeah, so if we do wasawa, what does that even mean? How is that? I guess would be the literal translation. How is that or how is it? I guess Hawaiians say that in English. How's it? Just means like what's up? How are things?
How's it going?
Uh-huh.
How's it?
Yeah. Okay. I do kind of want to get back to this sitee, because CA also mentioned a couple other examples that I think the comparison is good for us to study. So I'll make these a little bigger. Okay.
So this word, the Kagwantan, that's a clan?
Yeah, the Kagwantan is a Tlingit clan. Is anyone in this group Kagwantan?
Guantan, I Yanwasha.
Okay. Gunarchish.
So that means she is.
Uh-huh. She's Kagwantan and Yanwasha.
And which?
Yenwasha.
What's that? Is that another?
No, it's what the women of the Kagwantan. Well, okay, some women of the Kagwantan are called Yenwasha. Yenwasha are like it was like a warrior society. Like they were the short story is that they took over a Navy ship. So when we're at gatherings, those of us that are Yinwasha, we'll wear sailor suits. So you've probably seen Yinwasha. We'll wear sailor caps or the full sailor suits.
Mm.
No, I haven't. I'm from the Yukon. Mine's Yukon.
Okay.
So that's why I was
Uh-huh.
asking if that was the clan name.
Yeah. So yeah, it
Oh,
comes with
it's
the
warrior?
my understanding is that it comes with the matrilineal recognition of who we are. So like my son could even say that he was born to a Yinwasha, like he could
Which is a warrior woman.
oh no, not necessarily. It's we're not supposed to talk about ourselves. I think that there's so many incomplete stories when it comes to this, and so these are things that I'm digging up. But I grew up with my grandmother wearing Yinwasha clothing, like a sailor cap, and being surrounded by other elder women that were wearing these, and they would tell us the story. But the short story is that they took the out of okay. So do you know who Leona Santiago is?
Kahwe.
Carfue, Strong Coffee, that was her name, Strong Coffee. So she was our admiral. So she was our leader, the Yinwasha leader. But her aunt, it was like an inherited position. Her aunt was Agnes Bellinger, who was my elder. And she was the admiral when I was a little kid until she passed away, and that role was passed on to Leona Santiago. And so the story that the filled in part of the story that Leona shared with me is that out of Groundhog Bay, like a ship full of, I think they were Dutch Navy, they pulled up and into the bay there, and the warriors or the men were away. So the women got in their canoes, and this ship saw them coming, and these women paddled out and caught up with this ship and took it over, even though it was like a steam powered ship, and they took over the ship. And so since they took over that ship, they took their regalia. So I guess normally, like in battles, if you win a battle, you take the emblems of that group and you are allowed to wear them as a remembrance. I don't know when this occurred. I know it's relatively recently in relation to time, but also we culturally we track time differently. But yeah, I don't know much beyond that story. And Leona passed away within this last year, and it like we lose encyclopedias every time someone passes. But so even though we're Yinhua Sha, we're not all from the same houses. So all of our emblems are also different. Like Agnes could wear like okay, so Kagwantan is eagle and killer whale, or excuse me, eagle and wolf. But some houses, like my houses, we can wear a killer whale emblem. Agnes's houses, I think she was Eagle Nest House. She could wear like brown bear claws. So all of the houses, depending on what house you're from, you have different emblems that you carry. So my family, we wear eagle, killer whale, and wolf, and we're from the two-door house and the house on the water in Sitka. But all the different, so depending on which Kagwantan family you're from and where your houses are located, that is what was the determination. But the unifying story is that these Yenwasha out of Groundhog Bay. And so since we're descendants of those families, we still carry those emblems of wearing the sailor suit as well. If that makes any sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Goodness cheese. Tlachwasach tuig eisach thank you so much for that. I feel so good to hear your voice and hear your words about this. It's a huge gift anytime people share about their clan and their history and their culture. And this all ties into our lesson, our song, and gives like actual meaning to this word sitee, what it means to be something. So ganatish. And I don't want to keep putting pressure on UCA, but it's 11:15. Is that enough time to talk about Kwan, or would you rather do it at the beginning of next week's?
Maybe we do it next week and you and I could talk more so we could figure out the timing. Because I also feel like I'm I don't know, I feel like I'm talking too much in this.
You're good. Okay. Sure.
Confused.
Okay, so we'll do your presentation about Kwan next week. Any other What's that?
Did you just not do that? Like explained everything?
Well, that was a separate story. That was about the Yenwasha. There's another story we want to hear too. So we'll do that one next week. But
Oh,
yeah. So any other comments or questions about what we just talked about before we kind of bring it back to sitee?
it's just, I mean, it's fascinating and everything. I just don't really understand the whole.
Mm-hmm.
But I understand that I know, like, we're all from different clans, and I'm sure we all have different clan stories or the emblems and not emblems, but
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Yeah.
What we identify as. Carrie, so the
Yeah.
reason why I paused when you said like warrior women, like all Tlingit women are warrior women. We're all strong.
Woo-hoo!
Yeah, we're all strong.
Goodness
Okay.
knows I need all the strength I can get right now.
So this table I have up is it's a fun resource for people kind of regrouping into their heritage and their clan. There's a lot of information here, and it's a compilation of a lot of different people's decades of work, which is it's not comprehensive, but there's a lot of information here. So when we're looking
What's
at
the Merlet?
yeah, so when we're looking here, we have clans listed by group. So we have the Kagwantan group. The far left is the clan name, and then translation of what that means, people of the burnt house in Sitka. The next column over tells us our primary crest, so wolf or brown bear. And then this next column over are the secondary crests. So these can be indicators of your house. So of course a clan is a family, but your family expands. And at some point, there's only so many people who can live in one house. And as Shirley Kendall taught me, when your house becomes full and you have enough resources and money and builders and time to build a second house, then you can build another house.
And it has a different name?
And so exactly. So within the Kagwantan clan, there can be all these different houses as the clan got bigger and expanded. And so these might give you your secondary house. For example, we have Naha hit star house. So this might be a secondary crest of someone who's Kagwantan.
So how did they come up with the name for the houses?
They have a story. So Kagwantan as my friend described to me, who's Kagwantan, Yanduain, he said it's a contraction of Kawagani Hit Tan, so the people of the house that burnt, and Kawagani Hit Tan got shortened to Kagwantan.
You got hit with what?
No, hit. I'm
Hit
sorry.
means house.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
got it. I thought because you were speaking English.
Yeah.
But hit with what? I'm
Okay.
sorry.
So let's take
know
a
what hit means. It
Yeah.
means house.
yeah. So let's take a quick look. Are you Ishkitan?
Yes.
Okay, so if we wanted to look up Ishkitan. And of course, the information in this book does not take precedence over things that you've been taught. So this isn't the law. It's just a resource for people who are learning. But Ishkitan, people of Deep Pool in the River House, east bank of the Chilkat River, primary crest, frog, secondary. What's that?
So majestic.
Yeah.
Compared to the other ones that are in Carcross, I'm like, we're stuck with the frog, but I should still be proud of it.
You should be proud. And then these are some of the houses depending on the area. So in the Chilkat area, there's the Ishkahit atop the Fishhole House. In the Athland area, they don't have any houses listed in this book.
You don't have Carcross.
Oh,
Tagish.
Tagish. Yeah.
Is that
So yeah, this would be up in the Yukon area in the interior. There's no houses listed here. That doesn't mean there wasn't a house.
They have no. We in Dechlin we have no houses.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
what?
Goodness, geez. Okay, let's kind of get back on track. We got a couple minutes left, and I've sort of taken you guys into this long, grueling process of focusing on the word sitee, but just want to thank you for your fortitude on this. And I wrote these examples that CA had mentioned earlier just so we can compare them and look at them. So these are all about being Kagwantan. We're going to talk about different people being Kagwantan. So I'm Kagwantan, you're Kagwantan, he or she, or also known as a singular they, is Kagwantan, or we are Kagwantan. So these are just some examples of sounds that you put before sitee to say who is the thing. So let's practice. Yeah. So let's practice one line at a time for pronunciation. Top one, I am Kagwantan. Repeat after me. Kagwantan nach chet sitee.
Kagwantan.
Okay, good job. And then next one, you are Kagwantan. Kagwantan nach ECT. Good. Next one, when you're talking about someone else and it's just one person, you actually don't put any sound before sitee. That's kind of your default. So he or she is Kagwantan. Repeat after me. Kagwantan nach sitee.
Kagwantan
nach sitee.
Okay. And then last one just for today is we are Kagwantan. We use this word ha for we. Repeat after me. Kagwantan nach ha sitee.
Kagwantan
nach sitee.
Okay. Any questions about that or comments?
Ha hour too?
What's that, Michelle?
Is ha hour? Does it mean hour?
Yeah. So ha can either mean we, or it can also talk about our. So if we're talking about something that belongs to us, we use the same word ha. So for example, and this is a different type of ha, but just for comparison, so ha et chai. Yeah. I mean, that would be our food. Oops. Our food. This would be, I'm going to put it in a different color because it's a different ha. It's spelled the same and looks the same, but it's different.
Ha, ah, ha, ah.
Yeah.
That means our food?
Yeah. So, uh-huh.
Oh, finish that, and then we can go back to what are you? Like,
Okay.
I want to see how it relates. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Awesome. Okay. So the question Michelle had, doesn't ha also mean our? And yes, it can. Ha so let's practice this one. Ha
Ha,
Adchaye.
Yeah,
yay.
good job. Okay. So bringing yeah, we'll focus on those two down the road. But bringing it back to our translation practice, we have this word dasa, which we already identified as being what. I filled in this for you. The ksh is probably. And then let me just leave this blank. What would you guys guess this ect is?
That's a kush. ECT. What probably ST. That's a kush. It would probably. Are you? No.
Yeah.
Is the
Uh-huh. Go ahead.
is the the part that's implying you, or is
The
the
Good question. So the part that's implying you is the I,
uh-huh?
and the part that's implying are, like to be, is the sitee.
So the is what makes it a question.
The dasa is what makes it a
Uh-huh. Okay.
Hmm. Hello?
Tanzania forever changed how we understand chimpanzees, and in many ways how we.
Hello?
Anna, I think you froze.
Oh, good. I thought it was just me.
Me too.
Well, we're learning a lot while she's gone. It's so little confusing. So are you guys all in Alaska as well?
I'm in Seattle.
Oh,